Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Global Desi Women. I'm your host, Arti Solanki, and joining me as my co-hosts today are Bhavana Shelley, Rhea Palicha, and Shwetha Reddy. And today we are talking about something that touches all our lives, the incredible power of female friendship. There's something so special about the bonds female women share, the support and the laughter and the deep emotional connections that goes beyond words. Whether it's navigating the ups and the downs in our life, chasing our career dreams, or maybe sometimes just simply being there for each other through thick or thin. Female friendships often serve as our greatest source of strength. In today's episode, we will be diving into many ways these friendships shape us. We'll talk about the emotional empowerment that comes from these bonds, how friendship evolve across different stages of our life, and even the role play in boosting our mental health. We've also got some heartwarming stories to share that we will remind you just how precious these connections are. So grab your cup of chai, call your best friend to listen along, and celebrate the beauty and the power of female friendship. So let's get started. Hello, friends. How are you ladies doing today?
We're doing great.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. This is the topic where we can start from literally our childhood, where we share, our first chuddy buddy, I would say. Like, we have our school friends and how we grow up, and it's like those sweet, sweet memories that we all have one of those kind of friends back from school, which might be still our friend or may not be our friend anymore. We might have lost the connection, but we always remember one of those friends, right? I know I have, I still have my school group connections, and I still have my, thanks to technology, I have WhatsApp group that has from school, and we all connected. But I can start out by sharing just one very sweet and very crazy story. One of my school friends, after I think about 15, 20 years, I saw her in Houston and I was like, wow, she looks familiar. And I told my husband I want to say hi to her. And my husband's like, no, because you always do this. You go to random people and think that you know them. And then I was like, no, I really want to say hi to her. I'm pretty sure I know her. And then I approached her, and I swear to God, I knew everything about her. I told her her name. I told her where she lived. I told her literally like what class she was in, when she moved from one place to another city. I told her everything. And then I asked her, "Do you remember me?" And she's like, "No, I don't." It was like, oh my God. But we are still friends. We became friends again. Well,
Oh,
I from my end, she was always my friend, but I guess she forgot me, and now we're back again in that zone. So we're still friends. But it's a funny story. It's like those, childhood memories that you cannot erase it. And then it was like really
nostalgic.
sweet. Yeah. It was very sweet that I remembered that. And she was shocked that I knew everything about her. I remembered everything about her, but she couldn't. I guess I was not that special.
What a way to jog a memory.
Yeah. Yeah. So, do you guys have anything to share as a school friend, or, you know, how was your friendship growing up as a child?
So I can talk about one of my friend. Actually, I had two special friends back in the school time. And we back in those days, like we used to live very close enough. We go to the same school. we go together, we come back together. Even after coming home, if we have to, mom used to ask us, oh, go get bread. I mean, the distance from my house to going to the store to get the bread was nothing, but I would maneuver around, go grab my friend, and then we'll go together to get that bread, and then come home. I would not go anywhere alone without her.
Yeah.
And the second friend, but unfortunately what happens with our culture, we all get married and then everybody gets shifted to different locations. You lose that touch. For 30 years I did not meet my friend,
Mm.
and we had on and off connections, like, phone calls or whatever. If I went to India, I tried to catch up with her. But one of my friend, actually, she moved here in US, and then we start, luckily she moved to our area close enough, and it's a special bond that after so many years you feel the same, you start talking the same way as how you used to talk in when you were in school or when you were little. And that's that one person that you really have a special different kind of communication style, because
Hmm.
you can tell her anything, and
Yep.
she wouldn't mind, and she would tell you off anything, and I wouldn't mind. And
Yeah.
it's a completely different way of communicating to each other, which after a while, after 30 years, I've realized, like, wow, I didn't talk to anybody like that before.
Yeah. It feels like a safe zone, right? You have that safe zone built around, and like you feel so connected, like no matter what you have to share. I mean, you can, like, I have one of my best friends. I can literally start the conversation by cussing her and she wouldn't mind. She knows that. That's me. But
In my, yeah, in my childhood, there are memories here and there and carefree life and all that. But when I came to my college or like degree there, my friends, they're like still now, whenever we just say happy birthday and we forget that, because everybody is involved in their own family lives. And now again, we are missing each other. Started whenever we go India or we wherever, whatever places, we try to like meet with the families and talk to each other. She's like that, she used to be like that. So the college friends are meeting like once in a while also is like a good feeling that
yeah.
you're bonding with. That's
Yeah.
what I feel.
And it refreshes the memory, right? Like all those memories you've created whenever you get together with the friends, especially old friends like from college or school, you always go back and talk about, like, oh, remember we used to do this, or remember we used to do that, or we are here. And we always go back in flashback. It just literally takes you back to that time when we were little, or we were, in those happy moments. It always comes back. Those stories, those things that we've done, the mischiefs that we've done, it always comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, that's so.
And for the difference, I think Ria can say it, but the difference in our time, making friendship was kind of like a true sense friends. Like, back in those days, I don't think kids were cruel. They didn't really. I'm pretty sure there were bullies, but even then, I mean, with girls being friends, it was a true bond. It
Yeah.
wasn't because, oh, the other person is very cool, or it wasn't because the other person was rich. I think whoever you mingle with are kind of in the same categories, same mindset, same family culture oriented areas, same areas that you
Hmm.
belong to. So it was different, and it was that factor of somebody's having a different style, or someone having a different prestige, or something like that. that kind of like didn't exist.
Yeah.
So we were able to create that true bond
Hmm.
with our friend because those factors were put aside. It actually it was non-existent.
None, yeah, I was gonna say that didn't exist at all. We didn't
It
even
didn't exist at all.
it didn't even cross our minds that, oh yeah, oh, is that same culture, or is that, how rich or poor they are, or nothing like that. And we
Right,
we all
right.
had the same thinking. We all had, like, the families, like you said, we all came from the same kind of a background, so it was
Yes.
very easy.
It just matters is that friends make good times better and the hard times easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said.
Yep, yep,
Absolutely
that
well
is
said.
true. That is true.
So,
So, Ria, what's your take on this? Making friends, is that hard or easy for your generation?
I think it's harder as you get older, right? Like someone said earlier, as
Absolutely.
moments happen, yeah, life shifts, people get married, people have kids, people go to colleges. I think those tend to rearrange a little bit, but even when I was young, I think I also owe it to like having family friends. You have school friends, but then the family friends, some of my good friends I've had since I was like 3, 4, and they're rare. It's a small group, but to be able to maintain that for that's like 25 years plus, it's wild to see. And it's nice to be able to reflect together when you were young, when
mhm.
it was just carefree. And then it's also nice to have them part of your journey in those formative years when you're in college, you're going through breakups, you're, meeting people, you're dating, and you get married. And then to be able to share that with some of my friends who are having kids now, you're getting to actually live all these moments with them. So um, I think it definitely was easier years and years ago. Now I have trouble. It's kind of like I stick with the tribe that I
Yeah.
have.
Yeah,
But I think it's not just your generation, because even for me, I was pretty scared when I moved from one location to another. And after 30 years staying in Cyprus and now moving here, the only thought, the most scariest thought I was having was like, oh my God, how am I going to make friends now? I have forgotten how to make friends, because it was whatever friends we had, we've made for years. And like now making friends again. But I felt like when you meet another woman with has same mentality, same vibes, like I have made friends fairly quickly on this side of the town, is because they all have the same entrepreneurial mindset, and they all are very powerful, very, very positive mindset, very, you know, they are there for you if you need help. And that kind of helps, because the biggest thing is with the female friendship is the support system we build, right? Because it's the trust and the confidence, and whenever we're down, we want somebody to not just lecture us, but we want somebody to just be there for us, to just listen.
he
And that
should.
makes a huge difference, like tremendous difference, because a lot of times we just don't want, like, you have sisters, but then when you tell some problems, sometimes you get to hear all the things about, like, no, you're supposed to do this, you do this, you do that, which is good in a way. But sometimes you just need a friend to just shut up
Yes.
and just listen to what I have to say. And that's it. You need that kind of friend sometimes.
No judgment. No
No
judgment.
judgments, exactly. And
Um,
I think that's one of the best thing of having a women friend. And I love, I always cherish, once I make friends forever. That's how I believe it. I feel like I try to keep my friendship very strong. I try to be there for them, and I don't expect anything on return, because then that's not friendship. But I always try to be there for them, and I always try to make sure that you know if there's something I can do,
Pure
then
connection.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Women
But
tend to
but
know.
that's your personality, right, Arti? That you can make friends easily. You can talk to people easily. For me, all these years, I got acquainted with family oriented friendship, right? Because I was here when I came here. None of my friends were here. I didn't even know anyone. Actually, they didn't exist here. They were all in India. So all these years, I didn't have who I can call my own friend, right? There were
Mm,
a lot of friends, but they are family,
right,
friends and family,
right.
right? The wonderful women, right? I get along very well with all of them. I could call, I can call them friends. However, they're not my childhood friends.
Yeah. And it doesn't have
So
to be like the childhood friend, but like you said, like you have to feel it doesn't have to be connected to like family, or it has to feel the friendship bond, right? Because
right,
you get along with a lot of other women. They might be your friends. They might be, you might be in their same group, or it might be family members, or, but it's the bond that you create as a friendship.
right,
And that is what is important. And the same thing with me when I moved to Texas, I had nobody. I knew nobody. And I built my friendship, and now I have friends for over 30 years, and I still, it's a great relationship that I have with them. So,
Yes. When I came to Texas, the area which I stayed, there were no Indians. No
mm,
Indians. And for my mindset, I didn't thought that I have to make friendship. So I created my friendship very naturally with Mexicans, Americans, and all that. So I'm very thankful for that, because if I come directly to the people thing, I would have not understand their world.
yeah,
So, and I'm stuck in this world only. So I understand that world and this world right now, like now, because in my childhood also, I have like my growth was in Delhi, and I'm from South, so I understand both the cultures.
yeah,
So I think God has, like, I understand the other things, and it built my relationship with my girl gang very strong. So now also I go and meet every week.
yeah,
We get together. We just exercise. We do strength training. We talk. Sometimes some people are very rude, like with their family problems. They're like they just want to talk, just want to dump into you. And that time, other two, we just listen. And we understand that she has gone through some bad phase, and we just need to listen. We need not say or tell anything. Sometimes we just listen. So
yeah,
that makes them boost up. And sometimes what we feel is female friends can be boost your self-esteem.
yeah,
Self-esteem, and you feel confident and supported. And
yeah.
what I feel is women with strong female friendships have better health benefits physically, emotionally with me, because we even exercise with talking and all.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And friendship can be not just not somebody just from outside, right? Like over the years, I feel like I I can really say that my mom was my best friend, because she really when you're teenagers, you think like, oh, it's my mom, or she's not my friend. But then as you grow, like by the time you're like in late 20s, 30s, you understand that, oh, like every little thing you feel like, oh yeah, I want to tell it to my mom. I felt like after a certain age, I think I was more open and having more conversations and laughter and having a good time with my mom than I was doing it with my friends. So there was a phase when I really felt my mom is also kind of like my best friend. And honestly, my mom was the kind of the person we could go and tell her anything. and
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
She didn't
I
mind.
think there is a difference between now mom and that mom, because there was certain, you know, we would have not shared everything because judgment or something. Now mothers, they share everything. They talk about like anything, like you mean sexual things or boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever thing. They're openly talking to their parents, and they're seeking for the suggestions, or just they want to talk and take
Yeah.
suggestions, which is really nice.
Yeah, and it is good to have I feel like that kind of a relationship with your mom too, because um she is gonna tell you the right thing, right? She's not gonna say something wrong, or she's not gonna let you down, or but obviously it depends on how you see as portray her as a friend, right? There are still certain boundaries, of course, that a mother is going to have. It's not going to be as your friend. There's still going to be boundaries, but it depends on the relationship you. I think as you grow older, those boundaries tend to be less and less, and then at that point you feel like you're very close to your mom and you're
Yeah,
like best friends.
in
You-
20s, people say that in 20s you think, oh, what they're thinking about me, let me be good, and I let me be in their shoes. But in 30s, you're like, let the hell they whatever they think. I want to be myself. I don't care what they do. I just want to be myself, and my group of people will be there for me. So it's according to the age, everything I think changes.
Yeah, yeah, it does. It does. It does. And I mean, like you mentioned before, like the mental health with friendship is it is such a I can give you an example. Um, when my mom passed away 4 years ago, I had a very tough time. I was in depression for almost a year, more than a year, I would say. And to not just with the doctor's help, but I think I wouldn't have been able to do it without my friends and family support, because there were a group of friends, that very close friends of mine, that made sure that I answered the call, made sure that I had the conversation. If I felt like crying, they just stayed over the on the phone, and I just cried, did nothing, said nothing, nothing. It was just because I was going through a lot of emotions. And so even for your mental health, I think every person should have a friend like that where you can reach out to. And
Especially when you're in abroad.
yeah, yeah, abroad or even in the country, no matter where you are, if you're
Because
going
here
through
you're not
some,
having your family to always listen to you. So here the friend circle, the good circle is more necessary, because your family is not here. You're like, you don't want to like tell everything them and give a consent to them. Whatever your concern, they're not addressing it all the time. So
yeah,
it's the friends.
yeah, 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 absolutely, absolutely. And to have that emotional bond, and for a good mental health, it's so important, because like I said, I give all the credit not just to the doctor, but I also give all the credit to pull me out of those emotional setback, to all my friends and family, because without that, I don't think I would have been able to get out of it, because I was in a bad stage. I honestly was in a bad stage. And so I'm grateful for those kind of friends who made sure that, it didn't matter, even if I didn't want to talk, they were still talking. They made sure that I got out of the house every week. They made sure that I was doing well. So it really shows the love and the support that you have from your friends, right? Because there are friends that'll be just you can say, like, they're just hi and hello and like, okay, goodbye. And then there are friends that'll stay with
Toxic.
you forever, no matter
Mm.
what, right? So that makes a lot of difference, a lot of difference. That I think on this topic, I'm constantly talking about it. I'm not giving you guys enough opportunity to say anything.
No, it's great. I mean, especially with mental health, right? Like you said, friendship is it covers just so much, and it's really important, I think, especially in today's age, to be able to check in on each other. And I mean, that's what your friends should do. That's what your girlfriend should do. Check in on each other, make sure you're okay, uplift each other. Because I think we're in an age where there's a lot of influence coming in from a lot of different places. And I think even just a lot of the pressures that women face in general, getting married, finding love, having kids, doing this, doing that, like all these things that are kind of have been set for women, or like, it's assumed that women are going to do, to be able to share that also with your girlfriends. It's incredible because we're the ones that get it, right? So
Yeah.
it's nice to be able to share and even live through those experiences together.
Yeah, yeah, it's so true. And it's like you said, right? In this day and age, we may have 1,000 friends on Facebook, but
Mhm.
that doesn't matter. Like out
Like
of those
1 2 friends
1,000,
even.
like how many are gonna come up on the middle of the night and show up if you need help, right? You need a friend that you are confident where even if it's in the middle of the night and you give a call and say, "Hey, I need you right now, right here." And they're
Hmm.
gonna show up. That's the kind of a friend you need because otherwise it's just a show off, I feel like. It's like, okay, yeah, hey, it's okay, like I'll be there for you.
I
But
think it depends upon the personality too. Some people want each day, each text, each thing, every day they want to share. And some people are like they talk in a month, still that bond is there. So some people doesn't want all the time, like each day, how are you? How is it going? They get mad sometimes. They're like, please go away. I want your friendship, but I need space.
yeah.
Like it depends upon the personality of each other and the connectivity and whenever what you need, what's the importance sometimes.
Yeah, I can actually that's a very good point you made, and that reminds me of a very dear friend of mine, Bhakti. We've been friends for 30 years. We don't talk every day. We don't text every day. We don't, like, once in a while, if it's been over a week, she'll call me and check on me. If she hasn't time, I'll call her, I'll check on her. But the bond that we have is like w- it's it's like we know for a fact that we're gonna be there for each other no matter what. And
Yeah.
we sometimes don't even need to say words, and we just understand each other so well that even if we're together and if one of us is feeling down or not to the mood, or our emotions are not at that point, that level, we still can tell, like, okay, what's going on? I know you're not telling me, but what's going on? Come on, speak up. So
Yeah.
it's that kind of a friendship that you need, is because uh, that is just so valuable and priceless. I feel like the friendship that we have for over 30 years now, I really am grateful for that. It was because uh, she has been there since I moved to Texas. That she's one of my first friend I made. And oh my God, we can talk for hours and we can be quiet and sit next to each other and we still can understand each other. That's
You
how
just
powerful
need
it
that
is.
company.
Yeah, it's just amazing that uh
Yeah.
we understand so well. And I'm blessed to have, so actually not just her, but I have so many friends that I'm so truly blessed to have them in my life for being there for me. So
Yeah. True friends are never apart, maybe in distance by never heart, like never by heart.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And there are certain famous female friendship examples are like Oprah and Gail, the most famous, right? Like they've done shows together. They've been friends for such a long time. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's like over 40 years they've been friends, and their friendship is built basically on trust and loyalty and commitment to support each other, right? So that's one of the famous, I would say, friendship that I know of, at least in US. But if we talk about Indian, there are a lot of Indian celebrities that are very close to each other, and not sure if they're like really true friends, but like we've heard of it, like
Kareena Kapoor gang.
well, I don't know about Kareena Kapoor, but I know Priyanka Chopra and Lara Datta are very good friends apparently, because they have done beauty pageants together and they have gone through the film industry. They started pretty much film industry together, so they're one of the famous, I would say, celebrity friendships. I don't know how true of that is, but that's what I've heard, that they're good friends. And I guess it's the experience that they've shared together, right? And that kind of counts. But yeah, anybody else want to share their friendship or their story, or give a shout out to their best friends?
Well, my friend Bina, she's here, and then another one is Deepa. She's down in India, but we still share the same bond that we had before. As you guys said, we don't talk every day. Sometime it would be like months we don't talk, but when we do, it immediately connects you each other. I want to actually know your opinion and think about what would we think like differences of meaning, or the way we look at friendship versus how men look at their friendships. I mean, of course, the way we have bonds with our girlfriends, they also have bonds with their the men also have their bonds with their friends, but there's still difference. It's is the communication. What we look for in friend is that support system.
I think we look more of an emotional support,
Yes.
Yeah.
and they don't care about the emotions.
They just talk about cricket, politics, or general topics, I think.
No, I mean, like, even if they are going through tough times, they would be like, shake it off and just move on, like kind of like tough it up, like,
Tough it
be
up.
the man, like kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
They do late night. Like I've noticed it's like a late night. We hang out, everyone's kind of getting together. That's when they really have these like maybe more deep conversations, and then that's it. Maybe like a month or two later, like they'll come back. Versus I think women were always like, we tend to have those, like you said, emotional support. We tend to have some of these conversations a little more often. It's just so funny too, just how they communicate in general. And I obviously can't speak for all men, but even seeing my own husband, like the way they communicate is like, what's up?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I'm
I
good. Like
think
3
women
words.
can relate to each other's experiences and provide support and encouragement.
Mhm.
Friends can help you feel heard, understood, and valued. It's like
Yeah.
open communication where we listen to each other, communication, and sometimes you need not go through that what she's going through, but you're learning something from that and you will apply to your own life in a good way. Like you're listening to all communications and you're like, yeah, she has gone through it. You're sensitive towards it, and I think
Yeah, I
that
feel
way
like
also it helps.
I feel like women are more clingy.
True.
And you really need a very true friend in order for you to be able to open up with all of your issues,
Hmm.
be able to sometime you might be friends for years and you think that you have that bond, and still they are not completely open with each other.
it's all
And
it's a matter of trust, right? It's
trust,
friendship is
right?
trust.
And
So
it takes time to build that trust. It takes
yeah.
time to
I
build that
think it
trust.
happens naturally. Like you don't like starting, it happens naturally. You like the connection happens and you talk for hours or you whatever way you're connected. It, I think you like be a friend. She's your friend means you will not connect. Like the some sort of people are connected naturally, just like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
It's true. And I mean, like, it like I said, it's a matter of trust and also, you know, like when you build those friendships, it might be from a certain interest, and you might have friends from like from your yoga, you might have friends from work, you might have friends from, just from your childhood, but how much trust and how much of a connection you have with someone for you to, like Bana said, to be opening up and completely being honest and like share everything to that person, right? So it you have to be sometimes be careful who you're sharing what, even though you think that they're your
It
best
might be
friends.
bounce
But
back on you.
yeah, so you have to be careful. But also, I feel like I've never given a second thought. Honestly, like if I'm talking and I feel like, oh, okay, I made friends, she's my friend, that's it, that's the end of the thing. I can say any shit I want to. I'm that kind of
I
a
think mostly we share about the marriage life. Sometimes whatever things happening, we don't understand. The kids thing is better than the marriage thing, like the husband-wife relationships and all that. Whatever we are going through, sometimes we are out of space. What's happening? We don't understand, and we need her help. Like sometimes we think a lot to share and know about it, and sometimes we are in a vulnerable state where we tell like to them whenever we reach them, we don't think, we tell. And
yeah,
they are the emotional support, the way they give, they check on you, the how it's happening, and in the slowly it fades off and you take a right step towards whatever has to be done.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
so true.
special.
So true. Well, I want to say that I love my friends and I truly, truly appreciate all my friends. And if you are listening, I just want to give a big shout out to all of you for being there for me. And we end this show today. If you are wanting to give a shout out to your best friend, then reach out to us and we'll definitely give a shout out to them on our next episode. And don't forget to tune in every week. We have one episode that comes out, and we are the Global Desi Women. I thank you, ladies. And if there is somebody you want to give a shout out to, Rhea or Shwetha or Bhavana, just go for it. You want to give a big shout out to your best friend, this is the time.
Ladies, you know who you are if you're listening to this. You don't even have to say your name, you know it.
Awesome. That's the spirit. That's the one. I love it. I like that.
Yep. And then also, if you haven't talked to them, it's time to just pick up that phone and, catch
Connect.
up.
Yeah, connect.
Hi, Annie and Christina. I'm very thankful to you all. You've been thick and thin for whenever I needed and whenever I'm like stupid or whatever. You're there and there and always be with me. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, ladies, for being on the show, and we'll see you all next time.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.